Okay. It's working now. Okay. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome to Muv-Luv Monday, specifically Total Eclipse. So, things are going all right. We had our really intensive interactions, and I noticed that there was a ton of like animation going on in the visual novel, and some of you pointed out that the story and like the narrative flow of this visual novel is really different because unlike most of the Muv-Luv canon, this didn't start as a visual novel. Apparently, someone was saying that it started as a light novel and then became the anime and then became the visual novel. So we're getting this really interesting version where they are going to be using the anime inside it, which aka means I essentially have no chance of having these be monetized. I mean, you likely see ads in front of all of these videos, but it's not going to me at all. It's all going to the anime company. But you know what? If they just don't take down the videos, I am fine with that. So we are here. We are doing our fun stuff. We got kind of the Yuuya introduction where he was able to kind of having to prove that he was capable. And now we're going to see what's going to be happening. And kind of maybe, I'm guessing today's going to be a lot more about like, what do we do as part of this squad? Because we got the really fun introduction. We got to see the combat. We got to see TSFs being TSFs. Speaking of which, I have something very special to show you. Look what I found. Let's see if you can see that right. Oh, yeah, it's upside down. So, this little beauty I picked up at a hobby store. It is it is based on the Shiranui that is piloted by Takaru, but it could be any of them. But it's labeled as the Valkyrie version, so I'm guessing if it has like symbols. Like it looks like it has insignia stickers that are the Valkyrie. Now, why do I have this? Well, for Christmas, for myself, I wanted to order the Takamikazuchi, Meia's Takamikazuchi, you know, being probably my favorite design. However, my order that I put in months ago was unable to be fulfilled and it canceled. So I was like, oh, well, you know, that makes sense. It's hard to get stuff from Japan, and I imagine these are things that are kind of hard to get in Japan anyway. I have a local hobby store I go to, like, just to hang out, maybe grab some Magic cards or Warhammer stuff, you know. Mostly I just go there kind of to be social, maybe pick up my tabletop RPG book, because I keep up with Pathfinder and all that. I went in to actually go pick up a Pathfinder book that had recently been published. And I went in, and I tend to walk through the aisles just kind of, you know, glancing at everything. And I always admired the Gundam sets because they always had Gundam models that you could buy, massive ones too. And I was like, and Gundam's fine. Like I definitely I think it's cool, but I've never been super invested in it, as in like wanting to buy a collectible of it. And I was just going down the aisle, and I remember like even like a year ago when I was looking for a model of my own, specifically the Meia Takamikazuchi, I asked them if they could order one. And not only did they not have any in stock, but they're like, no, we really don't have a pipeline for this. This is not a product that we've ever really been connected to or anything. So, you know, I just never anticipated. So when I walked down the aisle and I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. So I grabbed it immediately and I went to the store person. I was like, look, do you have any more like this from this company, from this like specific group? And they looked up on the computer like, nope, not at all. And I said, so they filled me in. They said apparently what ends up happening is, they kind of get lots that they have offered to them. Maybe either toss aside from companies in Japan or, you know, because Japan obviously gets first dibs on every collectible you can think of that comes from anime or whatever. And then the companies in the United States kind of get, you know, access to them eventually. And so this specific local group, you know, they just kind of grab up occasionally things that they see that they think might be able to sell. And so, like, they get really random collections of stuff they offer on their shelves. So, the fact they even had this was kind of a happenstance. It happened to come along, and I don't even know if the people who put it on the shelves knew what Muv-Luv was. They might have just assumed it was just another kind of Gundam that they'd never had in stock before. And so, yeah, it's the only one they had in circulation as far as they knew inside their entire network, which is like a chain of stores with various names around like this part of the country. So the fact that they had nothing else in their computer systems, they just kind of happened to grab this one. And it just so happened to be I who found it. So yeah, I got it. I'm probably going to try and find some free time, assuming I'm feeling better, because I tell you now, I'm not feeling so great. But once I start feeling better, I'm planning to put it together. I imagine I have to actually like take the pieces out and do model crafting, kind of like I do with Warhammer, but on the larger scale. So I imagine it's going to take time, and I'm going to want to do it right. So whatever that entails, I want to try and do as best I can. And I'll absolutely show it off when I get the chance. But I just wanted to share that because I'm really excited to have it. It's like I said, it was like a surprise Christmas because I intended to buy something like that anyway, and I couldn't. Is it my first pick of the model I would have picked out of all of Muv-Luv? Absolutely not. But it's not bad either. So I'm really excited to put that together, and I was excited to share it with you because TSFs are awesome. Also, like the little amendment addendum I want to put in, I've been feeling rotten. As some of you might have known, I've been struggling with some illness stuff for a while now. Essentially long COVID, but it's complicated. It's made it hard to do normal life stuff. My channel's been like one of the few things I've been able to do mostly unaffected. But occasionally I have bad weeks or weekends. In this case, I'm having a bad one. I also know I'm not likely to be able to feel better in the next like 48 hours, and I want to try and record when I can. So I got a little bit of gumption in me, and I'm going to try and record. But that means it might not be a very long video. I might not be as attentive or excitable as usual. I haven't shaved because I just have not had the energy to do that because it's been a nightmare. But I still want to make time for this because this is something I get a lot of joy in and find a lot of comfort in. But one of the sad things lately is I've been feeling really dizzy easily. So sitting down, looking at stuff should be fine. But even just like turning my head quickly, I get a little bit of wooziness. So I'm just going to take it easy. We're going to record this as much as I feel comfortable with, and I'm just going to put it out there. But yeah, I don't want to interrupt this week's content if I can avoid it because I get so much pleasure making it. So hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you kick back, relax, and enjoy with me. So sorry for the insanely long intro. Let's jump into it. I know you've been waiting for it. So I just got to turn on all the sound effects again because I didn't want the engines being constantly blasting our ears while we chatted. All right. So with all that done, let's get back to whatever our first activity with the entire squad all on the same team is. So let's get there. So you left the most crucial part of the plan in Stella's hands. What a daredevil. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Like I said before, like he utilized the fact that he was drawing a lot of heat, both in the way that he was introduced to the team and in just the nature of those who were trying to take him down. I can think it was orchestrated that way too, because you notice the two people who were the most invested in trying to prove that we weren't that big of a deal were put on a team together, and the one who was most likely to be kind of the more passive one, Stella, was put on our team. And the fact that Yuuya has confidence in his skill, and he knows what he can do, but he also understands the value of trusting a strategy over just sheer power, because that's what, like, whatever her name, Tiny, that he calls her. I all their nicknames are sticking in my head more than their actual names. I'm sure I'll get around to that, but Tiny's like entire mentality about like going in guns blazing and proving herself was absolutely predictable, and he was able to work with that and set up a trap for her essentially. Now she did show that she has a lot of talent, and he was essentially, if it was a one-on-one, she did technically beat him, but like in the one-on-one, not in the actual overall battle, and that's what really matters. So anyway, the left of the crystal part, what a daredevil. And it's no big deal, we're on the same page, that's all there is to it.
でもよ、初対面で実力もわからないやつにバックアップ任せるってのは結構神経太いよな。
The plan called for me to do the bulk of the work, luring them into that L-shaped intersection where they could be easily picked off. But I would never consent to it if I didn't get the impression Venus could keep a level head and adapt on the fly. Well, not like I trusted her unconditionally or anything. She was my contingency plan until the very end. Okay, so there we go. He planned to take care of it all himself, but he knew that there's a chance that he would be outmaneuvered, and he wanted to make sure that he had, you know, it's like, ensure your victory. That's a great way to approach every battle. Just because you feel like you have an upper hand and have the capability of just winning doesn't mean you shouldn't have a plan for when things go south, because when do they not? Plan A was to wipe them out all by myself. Pissed me off that I couldn't.
ま、なんだかんだでチームワークが重要ってことだよな、タリサ。
Tarisa. That's right, Tarisa.
お前みたいにがむしゃらに突っ込んで き勝手暴れるなんていうのは流行んねえんだって。
あんたに言われたくないね、BG。
It's true. He did the exact same thing and got just absolutely destroyed.
だいたいなんで私をバックアップしなかったんだよ。何がチームワークだ。
だってお前手出すなって言ったよな。
Fair.
リーダーの指示に従ったんだよ俺は。チームワークチームワーク。
Yeah, Teresa was in a bad position there because if she had won with his help, she would have felt cheated and felt like, you should have left me alone. I could have handled it myself. She was left to herself and she failed. And so she tries to blame him, saying like, where were you? He's like, you asked me to stay out. So Macaroni's got a sharp tongue, huh? That shut her right down. No mean feat against someone that dumb. Dude's like the perfect deterrent against Tiny. I won't go out of my way to be friendly with the guy, but let's see how things play out. Anyway, the vibe here sure is different from what it was back in Groom Lake. The UN forces, a military organization far more diverse than the US forces in terms of ethnicity and national origin. Well, duh, it's the UN.
結局トップガンに教えられちまったな。
So that's for calling his nickname Top Gun.
アメリカ軍の基本戦術は数の優位を重視するの。だから連携はみっちりやる。でしょ?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
アメリカ軍の対ベータ機関戦略は G 弾運用が前提。戦術機の運用局面は最終段階だから、近接戦闘は実戦技能というより習得するべき課題のようなものだって聞いているけど。
She's right. It's kind of a flaw in their plan, but she's right.
にしてはトップガンのやつ相当なドッグファイターだぜ。ストライクでアクティブをあそこまで抑えちまうんだからな。
A whole lot of good it did me.
あ、なんか言ったかトップガン。
No, nothing. You know how bad yourself, Macaroni. Pretty solid maneuvering considering you were flying blind.
マカロニ？もしかして俺のことか？
Tard right.
よせよトップガン。俺のことは BG って呼びな。バレリオの V とジア講座の G な。
Nah, you're Italian, so it's macaroni. So macaroni it is. Pizza's too cliche. Pasta would be too boring.
お前もしかしてイタリアバカにしてんのか？
Perish the thought. Simply happen to like macaroni.
トップガンてめえ。
Yes. Tell you what, macaroni. Why don't we make a deal? Couple small flying objects. Are those guided missiles? At least one of them's a TSF.
二次方向よりドローン28、戦術機1、高速接近中。E92演習場はソ連軍が使っているわね。
Right. I think we saw that at the end of last episode. It was the two girls that I said reminded me of, and I thought might be associated with the same program that led to Kasumi. Generally seems like that's the case. The Soviet Union. It's gotta be that guy.
おいタリサ、お友達のお迎えだぜ。
うるさいマカロニ。
Ah!
あのテルミナートルに昨日のエースが乗っているとは限らないでしょ。
Terminator.
ああ、アメさんじゃそう呼ばないのかい？ SU-37 のことさ。 SU-27 と紛らわしいって理由で NATO の連中が勝手につけた名前だってよ。
Yeah, the Su-37, Su-27. That's not much a distinction. Ah, gotcha. After dancing with an active eagle myself, it's clear the darn thing's a monster. Sure, a lot of that's down to Tiny, as much as it pains me to admit. Below median IQ and personality quirks aside, she's one heck of a pilot. But I can't help but be curious about the Soviet TSF that wiped the floor with the active eagle. A Terminator, huh? What a fitting name for a TSF that almost removed the active eagle from existence. I'll keep this to myself, but the fight yesterday was a one-sided beatdown. Question is, what made the difference? The TSF or the pilot? It could be both.
変ね。このままだとあのドローンのうち何機かは演習エリア外に出るわ。
まさかスカーレットツインに限ってそりゃねえだろ。やっぱ違うやつが乗ってんのか？
Scarlet Twins? Is that what they call the Soviet pilots? And twins. I had no idea it was a two-seater.
でもこんな外縁区域であんなテスト普通しないわ。遠隔操縦装置の故障かしら。
ま、 万が一ん時は自爆させるかチェイサーが落とすだろうよ。それより取っておこうぜ記録。タリサのリベンジマッチのためにもさ。
あ
いらないよ。そんなもんなくたって次は絶対私が勝つよ。
Oh, Teresa, come on.
ジョークだよジョーク。でも記録は取るぜ。貴重な資料だからな。
勝手にしろ。
アルゴス3よりコマンドポストお聞きの通りです。許可願います。
コマンドポスト了解。ただしいい急に空域には絶対に侵入してはならん。以上だ。
Sounds good.
了解。
So the bosses want data on the TSF that downed the active eagle? They're prepared to get their hands a little dirty, huh? Well, will the end, will the means. Boeing originally made the active eagle through the Phoenix initiative. Imagine the embarrassment if the unit of the XFJ program fell behind a Soviet TSF as well. So much for international cooperation, all that empty words Project Prominence is supposed to stand for. Argus 1, volunteering to accompany Argus 3. But if the higher-ups are okay with it, it's not my problem. Besides, I get to see those pilots in action, and I wouldn't miss that for the world. That's quick. That's efficient. That's 14 drones so far.
相変わらずすげえな。あの状態で一発も外さねえとは驚異の命中率だ。
Yeah, like I said, especially with TSFs that are so determined on pilot like direct tactile interaction to determine output, having two pilots that are perfectly in sync, like I said, essentially makes like that TSF far more capable. It's almost like the difference between like a school desktop PC and a gaming PC. It's like they're essentially the same, but with dual like when you have not just like the processor, but you have a graphics card, which is like a super processor that is enhancing that. You essentially got those two running in tandem to make something far more powerful and effective. So, two pilots that are in sync, perfect. Yeah. He's not wrong, but what's up with these UAVs and their bizarre flying pattern? As soon as you think one of the drones is isolated, a bunch of them swarm up and then start flying together. Barely 5 seconds later, they scatter all over the place again. How exactly is this helpful? Doesn't do a thing to prepare you against the beta. It's kind of swarm tactics would never be used by TSFs in dogfights.
まったくよくやるぜ。そう思わねえか?
You know what? They have a point. What are they training them for? I thought, based on what we've heard so far, I thought it essentially was boiling down to effectiveness, efficiency, like being able to be pinpoint precise. But these types of fighting abilities, like, what's the real goal there? Huh? Yeah. Again, he's right. The average surface pilot could never dream of hitting even half these targets. But today they seem different somehow. Tamer? That killer instinct from before is missing. Was it just me getting my hopes up? Maybe it was a different team of pilots? For all I know, it's a different TSF. Database has no information other than the model number.
おい、見たかよあれ。すっげえ三次元起動だな。
Wonder if it's the same pilots who shot down Tiny.
ああ、間違いねえな。識別見る限りじゃ機体は予備機だろうが、あんな動きできんのはスカーレットツイン以外にいねえって。
So Macaroni doesn't see anything different in their movements today, huh? Interesting. Maybe the fact it's not close quarters engagement explains the difference in their performance? I mean, I may not explain everything, but I would approach the actual dogfight differently to a training exercise against unmanned drones myself.
おいトップガン、あいつこっちに来んぞ。激写チャンス。
Huh? Did they miss one of the drones? Yeah, I knew it. They're not just using, not into it unless they're fighting other people.
なんか言ったか? ああ、あのバカ何やってんだ?
Is he gonna pick a fight with them? As long as he didn't fly into their zone, he wasn't technically told he couldn't. I knew it. They're just not into it unless they're fighting other people.
おい、お前!
So they won't mind if I step in, right?
バ
Here I am. I stole your precious prey. What are you gonna do about it?
お前、バカ野郎。絶対その区域から前に出るんじゃねえぞ。向こうの演習区域に入ったら厳罰だぞ、厳罰。
Come on, Yuuya, come on. You're really playing with fire here. Well, that depends on how the friends react. Cheap provocation, but I should have got their message across. Come on, I'm right here. Show me what you got. Oh, here they come. Holy crap. Oh, never mind. Oh, please. You're gonna let the military discipline stop you after our little show from yesterday? I know you're not afraid to cut loose. At least I got a taste of that killer instinct for myself. Consider this our introduction. Next time I won't let you off so easy.
な、どうして俺たちだけが呼ばれたんだろうな。
Yeah. No idea.
本当に演習場でのことは関係ねえんだろうな。もしそのことだったら、俺は無関係だとちゃんと言ってくれよ。
Sure. The higher-ups justified my actions by saying Lieutenant Bridges was forced to apply improvised measures in the field of mitigated potential accident. God bless those fine doctors anyway. Lieutenant Dogula chewed me out for about an hour, so it's not like I got off scot-free. A direct confrontation with the team of Soviet pilots got swept under the rug. Exactly what I expected to happen. You're still playing with fire, bro. Like, that's really... Why? Why? I have no idea why the big shots decided to turn a blind eye, but I couldn't care less about the reasons. I got away with it, and that suits me fine. Yuuya and I would not be good friends. At least I thought I had. But here I am being summoned by the head honcho of the Project Prominence. Something tells me it isn't just to say hi.
大佐、到着いたしました。
I wonder if he's gonna meet them. That'd be interesting to be like, here, they said they were interested in talking to you. Lieutenant Yuuya Bridges reporting, sir.
同じく、ヴィンセント・ローウェル軍曹であります。
His voice like cracked.
ご苦労だったな。プロミネンス計画を預かるクラウス・ハルトウィック大佐だ。楽にしたまえ。
I want that cosplay. I want it so bad. Project Prominent HQ, 12th floor, General Headquarters Building.
どうだ、アラスカは。ネバダと違って寒いだろ。
はい、大佐殿。
なんだ貴様ら。米軍出身にしてはお堅いな。
え？
ここにはテストパイロットが集まるはずなんだが、上官に対する敬意は最低限でいい。普通に話せ。普通に。
Okay.
何か言いたいことがあるなら質問も適宜していい。プロミネンス計画ではな、形式よりも合理性を重んじるんだよ。
Oh, that's...
そういい。
I don't know if you should tell Yuuya that. Results.
ここは実験部隊だぞ。過剰な形式を再現するなどという無駄な行為に時間や労力を割いてはならん。特にテストパイロットはな。
Okay. Right. I think I understand. Something tells me this guy is a former test pilot who climbed a career ladder all the way to the top. It's not just his mannerisms. He seems to read me like an open book. Hardwick. That's German. We all know what they're like when it comes to sticking to the rules. Maybe a couple bad experiences on the shop floor soured him on them. Might explain why he doesn't seem to hold formalities in much regard. Or, I don't know. He is maybe an immigrant? Not hard to believe that someone who was German or had German nationality became a Canadian, or an American, or an Australian, or anything. So judging by his last name and just deciding that's his culture is a little presumptuous in a melting pot of nationalities that the world's become. But, maybe that's just... Come to think of it, he's the polar opposite of Brigadier General Dunbar. Funny that. Really doesn't seem like he called us here to give us a crap for the incident to the Soviets, so what's going on?
さて、もう少し貴様たちとの親交を温めたいところだが、そうもいかん。貴様たちをここに呼んだ理由、それは、今後アルゴス小隊が本格的に受け持つ日米共同開発計画 XFJ 計画について説明するためだ。
Okay, maybe we're gonna meet Yuuya. Gonna tell us what the XFJ program is. And that one, crap, she's Japanese. He's like, ugh. What an interesting reaction.
紹介しよう。 彼女は XFJ 計画における日本側の開発主任であるユイ。
Son of a B. What a kick in the balls. God, she's so pissed off.
中村ユイ中尉だ。ブリッジ少尉、ローウェル軍曹。よろしく頼む。
Yes, Mom!
Did she just say her name in the Japanese order? I'll be darned. They all think if they all think that Pissant Little Island is the center of the world, we're in America, in case you haven't noticed. Weird how Americans always demand that we be the center of the world. Gosh darn it, Yuuya. I'm sure the woman's superior officer, but look at her. She's just a kid. Keep that self-important crap to your, and you'll grow up rotten, kiddo. Hey, she's like your age.
そしてこちらが技術顧問であるフランク・ハイネマン氏だ。
Also, can we point out she's seen more battlefield-like experience than he has?
ハイネマンです。民間企業ボーニング社からの出向ですが、あなた方と共に働けることを光栄に思います。
You men are almost half forehead. That's impressive.
はい、よろしくお願いします。
Oh, hello. Handshakes. Pretty normal. Second hand on the hand. Presumptuously friendly?
ブリッジス少尉は大変優秀な英士だと伺っています。期待していますよ。
I know this might be a good thumbnail here. It's like, here's a handshake. Thanks. First glance, the old man looks like a textbook definition of a geek, but on second look, you'd notice he's not your run-of-the-mill technical advisor. There's a lot more going on under the surface, par for the course for anyone who would be volunteer for an assignment of this gosh darn crap hole, but dang, dealing with this geek on a damn Japanese lieutenant is gonna make life easy. I don't like Yuuya. The more I think about it, the more it seems like this whole thing's a cover for handing American technology over to Japan on the down low. Now, I'm not gonna throw a wrench in the works, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
よろしくお願いしますね。
それについてはおいおいということになりましょうな。
Remind me again? Why the heck am I here? So far the conversation's been about life on the base, Project Prominence trivia, nothing important. Getting the introductions over and done with is one thing. Small chat that lasts for an hour is another. I'm here to do a job, not make friends. Someone put me out of my misery. Sadly for me, my prayers will remain unanswered. Look at Vincent and Heinemann nerding out over there. I could keep going for hours. It's rare to see Vincent quite so animated. Is talking to an old fart really that much fun for him? I don't know. It's only someone who shares his expertise.
ところで、ブリッジス少尉。貴様は XFJ 計画についてどの程度の知識を持っているのかな？
Oh, here we go. Sir, the XFJ program aims to upgrade the empire of Japan's Type 94 Shiranui with the assistance of Boeing Corporation from the United States. It should also be understood that the broader context of Project Prominence is an instance of international technology exchange and development. Wow, straight from the freaking pamphlet. That's the PR-friendly version. What actually is happening is Japan has failed to develop a brand new mainline TSF domestically, so they're settling for the next best thing. God, I hate the holier-than-thou demeanor. You're here because you screwed up.
結構だ。表向きの情報としては申し分ない。
ええ、そうですね。
ハイネマンさん。
What do you mean the
それって
surface
どういう
level?
ことっすか？
それがわざわざあなた方だけを大佐がお呼びになった理由なんですよ。
もったいぶられるのは我慢ならないって面をしてるな。結構。それでこそテストパイロットだ。
Maybe he's watching to see him get really just frustrated. Okay.
二人ともついてきたまえ。いいものを見せてやろう。
はっ！
Yes, sir. An underground hangar, one that goes pretty deep, judging by how far we've walked. Security here is crazy. Palm readers, retinal scans, ID checks, the whole shebang. Even the head honcho Project Prominence doesn't get to skip the line. Oh, are they going to show him a physical, actual, tangible railgun machine gun?
おい見ろ。
Machine railgun.
自動警戒システムだけじゃねえ。隔壁まで閉じられてる。どれだけ重要なもんがしまってあるんだよ。何を見せてくれるんだろうな。な。 楽しみだよな。
I'd be getting nervous. It's all the same to me. All I know is as far as military secrets go, ignorance is usually bliss.
こちらに来たまえ。
Oh?
おい、見ろ、ユウヤ。
Yeah. That a...
戦術機だよ。装甲やらセンサーの類は一切合切剥ぎ取られちまってるけどな。
Oh, so it's a TSF-like frame. It's so bare bones, it took me a second to realize what I'm looking at, but yeah, that's unmistakably a TSF. And it feels like I'm looking at a corpse of one, though. Hey, Vincent, that's a Type 94, right?
あ？あれ？なんだありゃ。初めて見る形もあるけど、あれってアメリカ製のパーツじゃねえか。
So they've started the hybridation.
おお、さすがですね。
あ、やっぱりそうっすか？いやー
Why is the geezer so happy now? The Type 94 is an Eagle derivative. There's nothing weird about the relying on some good old American craftsmanship. Seriously, this is a head scratcher. Darn thing's been deployed for ages now. Why all the security? What are they hiding? You! All this going on, she's barely even blinked. This woman's like one of those Japanese dolls. We used to have one of those in the house. Oh. I was... Gosh darn it, the internet's ruined me. He's talking about like what is like a Hina doll, right? Like the little like traditional collector kind of dolls. I went a completely different direction. I was like, what kind of house were you growing up in? Mom used to be quite fond of it, but that blank expression plastered on the porcelain face gave me the creeps. All right, calm down. It's ancient history. Here in Yukon to work on TSFs. And my job is to show the world Japanese TSF design is overrated as hell. I don't know, man. You've never seen a Takabakazuchi, have you? You've been awfully quiet.
ああ、どういうことなのかと思ってさ。
What?
俺思い出したんだよ。あのハイネマンって男、2、3年前に軍の技術研修でボーニングに行った時に見た顔だ。
Right. What's weird about that?
いや、確かその時、あいつ、ボーニングの人間じゃなかったような気がするんだよな。
Okay, then who? So, owning the megacorp, acquiring new companies all the time, maybe he came along for the ride during one of those sales.
まあそうなんだけど。
Don't start freaking out on me, man. All I've got to do you're all I've got to keep me sane around here.
悪い悪い。それじゃ、飯にでもするか。行こうぜ。
Sounds good, man.
おかしい。気のせいか。
Yeah?
何者か。貴様は。
はい。コマンドポストオフィサーのリダ・カナレス伍長です。
カナレス伍長。それで、私に何か用か。
はい。実は、テオドラキス伍長が周囲にお話があると。でいないし。
フェーベ・テオドラキス伍長。確か、貴様と同じコマンドポストオフィサーだったな。
はい。そうなんですが。
Oh, right. They were in the command post. That's like, we heard them having the conversation when they were analyzing like the training exercise.
で、伍長はどこにいる？
そうですね。先輩。
高村注意。貴様はニーラム・ラワヌナンド軍曹だったな。何をやっている？
迷い猫を捕獲しておりました。
迷い猫？ほら、出てきなさい。
Oh, she's cute.
先輩、ひどいです。なんで一人にするんですか？
お疲
Oh,
れ
she's
様です。
tiny though.
高
Holy
村注意。
crap. Good grief, she's small.
ああ、私に何か話があるそうだな。
はい、実はですね。何から話したものか。
Well, this conversation is going great.
もう早く言ってくださいよ。注意に失礼じゃないですか。 何よあんた。仙人に対しての口の利き方がなってないわね。
あなたたち。
だったらビシッと仙人らしいとこ見せてくださいよ。
Yuuya just kind of like walks
大
away.
体こっちは私の方が。
あなたたち、ヨガの真髄味わってみる？
The power of yoga. I've never heard of yoga being a threat.
結構です。
ヨガの真髄？失礼しました、注意。大変お見苦しいものをお見せして申し訳。いや、構わんが。実は、テオドラキス5長が注意と親交を深めたいと申しまして、私たちはその付き添いで参りました。
Is that how you make friends? I've sucked at making friends. Is it that easy to just kind of say, like, hey, I want to be your friend? It's like, if someone actually walked up to me and said that, I'd be like, what's your game? What, you want money? Like, what are you trying to get from me?
私と親交を？それは。
Yeah, you and I on the same page. We're like, oh, what?
はい、ぜひ。
Calm down.
どうやら日本文化に興味があるらしく、
Oh no.
いろいろとお話を伺いたいそうで。
Oh no.
日本に興味が。
はい、私はギリシャの出身なので、長い歴史と独自の文化を持つ国に興味があるんです。
Okay, I can understand that, but why does being Greek mean anything? I mean, is it because you have a long history of distinctive traditions? I mean, that's very true. But, like, I don't know. I feel like that's an interesting logical leap.
ラワヌナンド軍曹にもインドについていろいろと話を伺いました。
Ah.
そうだったんですか？スペインは？ねえ先輩、スペインは？
España.
ほら、同じヨーロッパだからさ、いまいち新鮮味が薄くてさ。
Ouch. There's a lot of cool stuff in Spain, you know? They have the Inquisition and, they actually have a lot. They have, currently they have the human self, Darwinism, not Darwinism, the self-human Darwin Awards, aka like running with bulls. Great way to kind of weed out the worst of us. Well, the dumbest of us at least.
やだ、何ですかそれ。もう。
そうだったな。みなユーラシアの。確か、アルゴスという部隊名もギリシャにゆかりのある名だったな。
そうなんです。よくご存知ですね、注意。都市や地方、ギリシャ神話に出てくる巨人の名前です。
Interesting. Like, the funny thing is, I thought the association was with the Argonauts, but I wonder if that's not directly correlated. It just happens to have similar sounds, but like has completely different.
クジャクになったという百目巨人ね。
私、日本の言葉も調べました。94セカンドのペットネームは火の玉の幽霊。タイプ97はスノーブリザードって意味ですよね。
I did not realize the Shiranui was a will-o-wisp. That's interesting. I did know Fubuki was Blizzard, though ironically I learned that from One Punch Man.
ごちゃん、よくぞそこまで。
すごいです先輩。物知りですね。だから調べたんだってば。
Well, that's the same thing. What, you expect people who are fans of Japan to just wake up one morning and suddenly know all of that stuff? You have to look it up.
語るべき故郷を大陸規模で失ったせいでしょうか。異国にも祖国同様の郷愁を抱くようになるものなんですが。
I mean, you could look at Japan, though. You could go over there. I mean, it's not likely because, you know, military, desperate state of humanity. Travel is not really a luxury we can afford, but it's not like it's gone.
さっきはああ言っていましたが、あの子にとって日本は、ベータの侵攻を跳ね返したという意味で特別なんです。
That's true, I get that.
特別？その日本からいらした高村中尉も。
Is she the only Japanese native?
実は、白縫いというのは、今では蜃気楼という意味になっているんだ。
Oh, really? So, Will-o'-the-Wisp and Mirage. Okay, okay. So it started as that, but it's become a more generalized term for just seeing something out of the corner of your eye or misinterpreting what you see as something else.
ですか？
ああ。気象学や物理の進歩が火の玉の幽霊を成仏させてしまったという次第でな。
It's interesting that they could let go of their, the traditional meaning of a word to adapt to the times, which is something I don't really feel like we do much in English. I mean, sometimes words change meaning over time for sure, but usually it's still rooted in that same. I guess that's technically true here too, though. So yeah, what am I doing? It makes sense.
そうだったんですか。なんかつまらないですね、そういうの。
ラワヌナンド軍曹、テオドラキス伍長、カナリス伍長。
はい。
今度私に貴様たちのふるさとの話を聞かせてくれないか。
See, that's a good response.
はい。
All right, so we'll have a day off. We'll go grab a lunch and we'll just talk for an hour.
喜んで。そうか。よかった。
それじゃあ、この後夕食でもご一緒にいかがですか、注意。
Okay, calm down.
いや、
せっかくですから、行きましょう、注意。
Oh, hang on.
そうだな。
Oh my gosh, it worked.
おい。
Oh, comes Yoga again. What the fetch is
ようこ
this?
そ、アラスカへ。
Dang, that's a pretty impressive internal space. Thanks, I guess?
なんだよ、暗い野郎だな。いやいや歓迎会やってんだ。少しは楽しそうにしろ。
I don't think I've ever felt more unwelcome at a welcome party than before in my life. Yeah, I'll be all smiles.
なんだ？まさかネバダにはこういう店なかったってのか？
As if, you have no idea.
確かエリア51ってラスベガスも近いんじゃなかった？
Vegas can't even be close to what it is in real life now, though, right? I mean, come on. There's no way they have the infrastructure and access to be able to actually have the strip being what it is like nowadays. It must be something muted.
ラスベガス？このご時世に一攫千金の夢とかどんだけだよ。これだからアメリカ軍をさ。
Get rich quick schemes might come to succeed. It's as likely as anywhere else. It's actually more likely you're going to lose everything to help somebody else get rich quick. Tiny couldn't stop giving me crap. Now she's acting all friendly and stuff. This little gremlin warming up to me.
あ、タリサのことか？模擬戦で負けた割には機嫌がいいとか思ってるんだろう。
It's impressive you actually caught on. Yeah.
そうやっていつまでも腐ってねえところがあいつのいいところでな。まあ素直じゃないんで、その辺は多めに見てやってくれ。
もっとも一つだけ例外があるけど。
The Russians. You mean those Soviets, right?
ああ。どうしたって虫の好かないやつってのはいるもんでな。
ちょっと。そういう酒のまずくなる話はどうだっていいだろ。お待ちどうさま。
なんだナタリー。まだ何も頼んじゃいねえぞ。
She's cute too. Have I seen her before? I swear. It might just be blending of hairstyles over time, but I swear I've seen her before.
いつもの持ってきたんだけど。
あら、ありがとう。さすが気が利くわね。
なあ、ナタリーよ。お前さんのそのドルチェ、いつになったらオーダーできるんだ？
Gosh darn it, man. Down, boy. So I get a choice. Dulce, this is me. Is this guy for real?
ドルチェ？なんだいそれ。
甘くて柔らかいスイーツのことよ。
Oh gosh, I have to explain it to her? Come on, dude.
なに隠しメニュー？
Okay, this is actually kind of funny though.
ま、そんなもんだ。俺、ずっと待ってんだけどな。
And that's sexual harassment, young man. Get out of here.
ごめんね、ビージー。これ、特別な1名様限定メニューなのよ。
So she's got a boyfriend or girlfriend.
私も欲しい。
I don't think so.
なんでだよ。
胸に手当てて、よーく考えてみな。
あら、そんなことないわよ。パリスでもそのうち。
は？ない。そりゃ絶対ねえよ。
That's pretty harsh, man.
そう ?BG が面倒見てあげればわからないわよ。
それもね、ありえね。
I mean, she's not winning points on the you know, enchanting scale here.
何しやがる。
なんだかよくわからないけど、私は間違ってない。
At least your gut's right. Saw that coming.
ねえねえ、それよりもこちらのムッシュは初めてよね。紹介してよ。
So she's supposed to be French?
ええ。今度うちに配属された元アメリカ軍のトップガンよ。
Yeah. I've told you over and over, don't call me Top Gun. I started in the Army, not the Navy, and I'm still on the American rolls. Got it. It's just temporary assignment. I'll be back someday. No, you won't. You say it's temporary. I guarantee you at some point in this story, he's going to get mad and demand being transferred back, and the UN guy's going to be like, look, you're technically out of the U.S. military. You, like, while you've been here, they formally discharged you and reassigned you. They don't want you because nobody likes what happened with all the shenanigans that went down there.
私ナタリー・デュクレール、フランス人よ。
I swear I've seen her before though. Like, I'm probably just going crazy, but I swear she looks so familiar for some reason. Yuuya Bridges, American.
今夜はこいつの歓迎会ってわけだ。
なかなかいい男ね。ね、もしかして東洋系入ってる？
Is that important?
あら。じゃあ、名前で呼ばれるのは嫌かしら。
Okay. It's funny because, like, she's being really nice, but I know it's gonna push his buttons. I don't care. Whatever's most comfortable for you.
女の子の食いつき良さそうね。これからもごひいきに。デートの時は向こうにカウンターがあるから使ってね。
For what? If you're on a date, shouldn't you be focusing on just the person, or is it a good view of the date?
けど気ぃつけろ。こいつに知られたら、次の日にはもう基地中の奴らが知ってるからな。
Oh, maybe she wants a good view. Okay.
やだ BG。基地中だなんて大げさよ。まあ、街中は確実だけどね。
And then it'll spread. Sociable people can integrate themselves anywhere they go, an art Natalie seems to have mastered.
で、ナタリー、本日の裏メニューは？
いいサーロインが入ってるわよ。アメリカ産の天然物。
Fetch, they have a real steak? Holy crap!
天然物？食いてー！
Wait, is organic beef really that big of a deal for you guys? Yuuya! Oh, you privileged little... Oh. I'm almost upset that he gets to just... Oh.
この町は国連軍基地の一部でしょ？だから、流通してるのはほとんど合成食品なのよ。
I genuinely thought the whole world was living on synthetic food because you need to, right? Why? We're in Alaska for crying out loud. There's nothing around us but rivers and forests. It's good hunting.
今さら何驚いてんだよ。昨日と今日、PX で飯食ったってのに気づかなかったのか？
No, I realized. I just figured it was because of, I don't know, reasons.
これだからアメリカ育ちはよ。なら、天然物の食い納めだ。Yuuya最後の晩餐。
You know what? I agree with
ご商売に
Fiji.
預かろうぜ。
I agree. He needs to be tempered down. You kidding me? Barely managed to choke down the last synthetic crap. Man, this blows.
でもさ、どうせお高いんだろ？そうね。今日のはちょっと値が張っちゃうかな。
Yeah, decent beef's tough anywhere. And in a world like this, it'd be like just beef is premium. Like screw Wagyu and all that good stuff.
だからいいんじゃねえか。ごちそうさん。
あ？
いやー、あれだけ息巻いて火花散らしといて、負けたらそれで終わりってのはねえだろ？喧嘩の売った買ったなんてのは、きっちり生産してこそ、禍根を残さずやっていけるんじゃないですかね。
VG, may I remind you that you technically also lost, meaning that you also should be footing the bill here.
ふざけんな！
というわけで、ナタリー、裏メニュー4つ。
はーい、ご注文いただきました。
大丈夫よ。半分は BG が持ってくれるって言ってるから。
何？
Exactly. Stella's got it.
それはそうでしょ。私たちはチーム戦をやったのよ。生産するなら連帯責任よ。
I like Stella. She's cool. Fair's fair.
ちょっと待ってくれ、ナタリー。
一度話し合おう。特に値段について。
What?
ようやく笑顔見せてくれたわね。
Huh?
ここにいるほとんどの人間は故郷ベータに滅ぼされて流れ着いてきた異邦人。最初はみんな笑うなんて贅沢許されないって本気で思い込んでしまうの。
Wake up, Yuuya. Like, this is the reality of the world. Foreigners, huh?
あのタリサですらここに来た当初はね。きっとああいうタイプだから逆に敏感に空気を感じ取ってしまったんでしょうね。タリサはご両親と兄弟が行方不明だから余計にね。
Dang.
ナタリーもそう。今は軍属だけどもともとはカナダに逃れたフランス難民よ。
But from France to Canada. She wasn't in the day after, was she? Like, she wasn't one of those pilots. So that's how it is. Europeans or Asian, regardless of nationality, their countries have been wiped out from the face of the earth, a background most people around these parts share.
何はともあれよろしく。
Thanks.
ところで注意、質問があるのですが。
Oh, we're just transitioning right over to these guys. Alright. We've been here for a little while. This might be a good place to stop. Let's let the girls with Yuuya have a good time in the sun on their own. So we'll split things up here. Yeah, it's interesting. Character design, of course, has always been decent in Muv-Luv, but I actually think I'm seeing a lot of very fun design here. Like, I can't help but see a lot of characters and be like, wow, they look fantastic. Like, just the way that they're drawn and animated and everything just looking really cool, really good. Very, like, beautiful or, like just well, like, I don't know. Diversified is the word maybe I'm going for. This idea of just, like, how everyone's got a distinctive look. And it's not just like, oh, their hair color's different or the skin color's different. It's like they have very specific feels to them as writing and presentation and dress and like everything. It just shows a lot of like thought has gone into the character development, which is really cool to see. Again, I wonder if that has something to do with like its focus of a light novel, because I'm also seeing a lot of in the Muv-Luv stuff, we have a lot of what I would call animization, where like you have like the pink hairs and the purple hairs and, you know, like really the classically like diversification to keep characters from looking too similar. You know, you have like, and then like also the big hair, like lots of very explosive hairstyles and the vents and, you know, all that stuff, which is great. Like I still love that style and all, but I've noticed that that's been a lot very toned down. A lot of the hairstyles and like the way characters are depicted in Total Eclipse is much more muted. It's more down to earth. And I don't know, for like, I have to admit, I'm actually a pretty big fan of that, because they're still finding more creative ways to make characters distinctive from each other. Even look at like the eyes of the three characters that we have on the screen. Well, like, I'm guessing you can see some of them, because I'm probably big blocking one of them, or was blocking one of them, but like, it's not just the same eyes, like design and structure that's just copy pasted between like different characters, which is very typical of a lot of animation styles. It saves on budget, makes it easier to draw. But here they've gone the extra mile and tried to make it so that each characters have very distinctive just looks to themselves. Like the way you look at them and the way they look at you is very different and very interesting. And again, it makes it very striking. The only thing that it seems to be odd to me is everyone has big hair syndrome. Well, not everybody, but Yuuya and Yuuya have big hair syndrome, where it feels like their hair is way too long and too like poofy, I guess you'd say. It just lifts off the top of their head and almost makes it like it almost feels too large. It's weird. It's the opposite of like the guy who had a really big forehead, where it feels like their hair is way too over encumbering of whom they are. It's really interesting. I think Yuuya suffers from it more. I wouldn't say suffer. It's not like it's a bad design. It's just like I can't help but notice it every time I see her character. And then like I think Yuuya has this very similar problem where it feels like his hair is very, which is just an interesting design choice. But other than that, like I just think the character designs are really great. It's really striking. Anyway, this long ramble's over and I'm feeling very tired. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of the channel and part of this very, very fun adventure. I hope I can continue to make a lot of good content this week. It's, gotta see, like, even this has been more taxing than I expected. And especially with the longer videos like Yakuza and Trails, where even though the videos tend to be about an hour long, I usually am recording for about 2 hours or even 3, depending on how much filler is going on in those. And so if there's anything that's going to suffer this week, it's likely those. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But still grateful to have you all here. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful experience and journey with me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your comments. And for the many of you who never like comment, who are, just kind of just silently watching in the wings, I really appreciate you being there. The patrons, of course, wonderful, wonderful patrons, make it possible for me to pursue this at the levels I have been able to. For the first several years, it was literally just passion project, but because of the outreach and support I've had through all of you, it's made it possible for me to like make a little bit more time for myself, to make a little bit more content, also to be able to hire wonderful artists to provide, more unique art styles and flares and end cards and everything for the channel. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do that. And I hope that I can continue making content that makes it worth your time and your effort and your investments, whatever they may be. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until next video, watching me up, see me next. See you there.